Hi there, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Digital Natives. I am still your host with the most, Sami Mohamud, and today's topic is going to be a very enlightening one. We'll be discussing corruption and methods to curbing it. But before we go ahead, I would like to introduce my guest, or actually let them introduce themselves, starting with my right.
My name is Apugoing Kiru. I'm a writer and also a fashion designer.
Welcome to the show, Inkiru.
Thanks for
And on
having
my
me.
left.
Yeah, my name is Layoladidaya Lunge. I am a writer, poet, and a public speaker.
Wow, two writers. Okay, so I'm expecting a lot of discussion then. All right, so let's get into it. Nigeria today is known as okay, not the most, but it's top three most corrupt countries in the world, and I want us to take a view of this topic from our generation leading to the next generation. How, first of all, let's try and understand what's causing this corruption now, and then also try and provide solutions that we as a generation can take so that the next generation will live in a less corrupt Nigeria. So, if you like to start with, yeah,
I feel it's lack of patriotism.
yeah,
That's one of our major issues.
mm,
The thing is, we as a people, we are not patriotic to the country.
yeah,
There's no country in the world that is not corrupt.
mm-hmm,
But you don't see theirs because they love their country. They do things, even in as much as you have corrupt people, but they try to cover it because they do what they're supposed to do,
mm-hmm.
even if they steal funds or like embezzle
Yeah,
funds
they do
or
the job.
but they get the job done.
Yeah,
But in Nigeria, it's all about embezzling the funds and we
mm,
don't get the job done.
yeah,
So if you love your country, you won't want to milk it dry. You won't want to see people suffer.
mm,
You won't be responsible for these people and you watch them suffer while you gaining.
yeah,
It's so not making sense.
mm,
But if you love your country, you want to see your country grow. At least we have all it takes for us to be a developed country, but we are not there yet.
yeah, yeah. Definitely.
So
Do you have anything you want to add to that, Lyle?
Definitely, I would
Yeah.
have a lot to say about that. When
Mm,
we're talking about corruption here, I feel we need to understand something. And what we need to understand is accepting ourselves first.
mm,
Yeah. Now, I know this is what I can do for my country, even when I do not have up to the other part of the world, or when we do not have other resources, but I can make something out of nothing. But this time around, whereby every individual put the blame on the government,
mm.
then that means we ourselves are corrupt. So corruption starts from the mind, and it's the state of the mind. Once we
definitely.
can correct that state of the mind, then definitely we are good to go.
Actually, when you were speaking about that lack of patriotism, something came up to mind. You
Yeah.
say us as the citizens are not patriotic,
Yes.
but what if I also argued that even the government themselves are not patriotic to the country?
It's everybody. We
Because
we
you
all are
were
not
talking
patriotic.
about how if like funds are being budgeted for creation or something, or like if you hire a contractor now,
Yes.
there are chances that the government never gives it to Nigerians to do the job; they give it to foreigners, and it's always that foreign people that they end up cohorting and embezzling funds with. And so when us Nigerians now see that every time they want to build something, they're going to call Chinese people. Every time they want to, it kind of then makes us now go, you know what? Governments don't care about us, then we have to make do and make things for ourselves. And I feel like that is why, if we're using that argument of lack of
Mm.
patriotism, that is why people don't really care for their country because they see their own government isn't working for them.
I don't think that's solely that's just
Okay,
that. I think there's more to it.
okay.
For example, the pedestrian bridges, the
Mm.
deaths on the road, you
Yeah,
see. Now you don't expect the government to come
come
every
on.
time and clean the road for you. But you see a moving car and you see people dropping
Throwing out.
things.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
You see,
Yeah.
you don't expect the government to come sit with you in the car and tell you not to drop things.
Mm.
The pedestrian bridge, for instance, most of us don't fly the pedestrian bridge. You understand?
Yeah,
And it is your life, you're endangering your life.
yeah.
But they feel, okay, it is my life. I have the rights to my life.
Mm.
So I would want to use the road and not use the pedestrian bridge.
Yeah.
And that is where it comes about what are you teaching your child?
Yeah.
Now, from our generation to the next generation, what are we showing them?
Yeah.
Because you, as a mother, if you're crossing the road with your child will
Your child
definitely
is
grow up,
cross.
cross
Yeah.
the road. But you, as a father, you train death out of your car, your child will definitely do that.
Mm.
So you, as a contractor, a boss, or anything, and you're embezzling from the next people after you would do the same thing.
Yeah.
It keeps going.
Yeah.
So you as an individual, like she said, it has to do with the state of the mind.
Yeah.
So if we are patriotic enough, if we've orientated ourselves enough, then we would not be having this issue the way we are all seeing it.
Yeah.
Corruption alone is not the government thing.
Mm.
It has to do with everybody.
Mm.
Everybody is involved. sorry to say, even the religious body too,
Yeah.
you have corrupt leaders
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
you
No,
have
human
corrupt church
beings,
members.
yeah,
So
are not
it's
perfect.
just, apart from you not being perfect, you
Yeah.
try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing has been perfect.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
we all should try to do the right thing, not just the normal thing. Because if we say let's do the normal thing in Nigeria now is corruption.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you want to be different and do the right thing, you won't be corrupt. So
You were speaking of the state of mind.
Yes.
Um, wouldn't you say the current state of mind now is as a result of the existing state of mind? So it's not something that we can blame the people now. It's just been some like it's a culture that's already been there. These corrupt practices.
Okay, I think I need to make this very known now.
Okay.
Corruption started from the family and it's going to end in the family.
Mm.
Now, imagine whereby you have a nuclear family, the
Yes.
father, the mother, and the children.
Yes.
And then this father comes home quite late. The mother tells the child that, okay, your dad will be back very soon. And then the child does not see the father until around 5 a.m. the next morning when he's about to go to bed or go to school, rather. And then the child is like, Dad, what happened? He said, okay, I'm sorry, I was jammed in traffic. This happens again and again. Then the next day, the child sees the mother having some breakdown and ask, Mother, what is wrong? I say, your father is fine, I'm fine, I'm good. The thing is this, the little lie you tell in the beginning is the beginning of corruption. That's one thing. Another thing that is there is this, we have all social institutions, from the religion to the education system we practice in the country, even to the kind of family we have. Every system is corrupt. And if these three institutions are corrupt, then definitely this country is going to be full of people with corrupt minds. When your pastor is telling you or your imam is telling you to do something, this is what is written in the word. And then you yourself that is telling them to do this thing is not adhering to these principles, then corruption sets in. Now, let's consider this. There's this very common thing that has been going on around the youth recently, and that is education is scam. Everybody's trying to say education is scam, education is scam. Why will education be scam if not for the fact that we believe education is scam? Or we believe the knowledge we get from this is not what we want.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, once we can clear our minds, like we purify our mind, we evolve, we internalize, and we realize things daily. Because what is right yesterday might be perfectly wrong tomorrow.
definitely.
So if we understand that, okay, this thing that was right yesterday is now wrong today, and I must make sure I do not do that, then you have a very good. So it's the state of the mind. Self-realization is key.
All right. Thank you for that. Okay, so when we now try to move on from what we understand is corrupt, like you said, what was wrong yesterday can be right today, and vice versa.
Yes.
Where does it now? Who's in a position to be able to lead this change? Is it now those who have already made the mistake? Who should be the people that realize they've made the mistake and change it, or the following generation should pick up the mantle?
Okay.
Wait, hold on. This will continue after the break, but I just want you guys to think about this, okay?
Okay.
All right. I hope you're enjoying yourself and keep it locked to Aleeftvng. Welcome back, and this is still Digital Natives. I've been talking about the issue of corruption with these two wonderful ladies right next to me, and so far they've been able to provide a few reasons why they say this corruption exists. Nkiro was saying lack of patriotism among the citizens of the country, while Layo gave the opinion of the state of mind and how it needs to be changed if we're trying to curb corruption. So just before the break, I said what steps can be taken and who actually leads the charge of changing this corruption. Whether it's something that if the first generation have made the mistake, they should just move on and the next generation takes the mantle of trying to change it, or that first generation still has to be in charge of. So let me actually make it more. So now that we say Nigeria is corrupt, is it the leaders that need to change, or all these older people in Nigeria that need to change, or is us that the next generation of leaders that should make sure that we need to change?
I think everybody's involved in this one way or the other. But I think it lies more on on us,
Yeah,
the next
next generation,
generation,
yeah.
because we will be the ones to lead the ones coming.
Coming true.
So it is what we show them, it is what we teach them that they will do. Now, you cannot boil a spot egg and expect it to come out good. You have what is bad, it's bad already from where it is. So just let it go. and
Okay.
start all over again.
All right.
Now, if you say the leaders and trying to change them, they won't be there forever, mind you. So we'll be the next to be there.
Yeah.
Now, what do we want to give? The campaign started of not too young to run, not too
Yeah.
young to run. But instead of us doing not too young to run, I think we should start saying, orientating ourselves, changing our state of mind, changing how we see Nigeria. Do the little things we can do. First, stop throwing dirt on the road. It's killing.
But how do you
Use the
even
pedestrian bridge.
enforce like that kind of law?
A person, you as a person, you should know the right thing. That's why I said, don't do normal, do the right thing. Because you hear someone say, after all, there's death there, so I should just add. But don't do what every other person is doing because you feel it's normal. You just have to be the right person.
Okay.
Now, the imams, the pastor, they have major roles to play because if you see Nigeria today, we all listen. Most of us listen to the imams and the pastors and all. So they need to work on themselves. If they really want us to change, they need to work on themselves and pass this message. Because you'll be surprised. So many people do what their imam tells them to do. So many people do what their pastors tell them to do. So they have major role. Now the teachers also in school. The teachers to have roles to play. The teachers need to change their mind because they know what to pass to the children. And the parents at home. We need to change our mind. So it has to be everybody. So you in charge of a person, you're responsible for a person. You have to change. You have to teach that person what they need to do. Not just teach them to do the normal thing, but teach them to do the right thing so they can make decisions on their own and make the right decisions on their own.
Okay, but what about the people in your own circle, though? You know, because like I feel like a lot of us probably know of or are in the same circle of somebody who is corrupt, but we just keep quiet because maybe they are age mates and we feel like we don't have any rights to speak to that person who is our same age. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, isn't that something that we also need to start discussing? If your friend is corrupt, make sure you're also stopping the corruption from there. Because, like they say, charity begins at home. So you can't now say, oh, you're trying to teach the next generation, even if the guy next to you is practicing the most corrupt practices, wouldn't you say?
I said everybody.
Yeah.
As I said, everybody needs to
because
change their
you
mindset.
gave it.
Now, if I am doing the right thing, and
Yeah.
as a friend, we tend to copy what we do
Yeah.
one way or the other. So if I'm constantly doing the right thing and it's paying off, I'm sure the next person wants to do the right thing and not do the normal thing.
True.
So it's just what they see constantly that
Can I
gets
chip in
involved.
something there?
Yeah.
This is it. What is right is not always right all the time. So one of the reasons why I said it's a state of the mind. I'm going to try to make examples with other countries. There is this common thing that everybody almost do all the time. I know very well. Aleeftvng, God bless America. But the question now is, how many times or how long or have you ever heard any Nigeria wake up in the morning and say, God bless Nigeria?
It's right.
Olamide came out with I love Lagos.
I love Lagos. That was what he said. But the thing is, it's high time we stop seeing ourselves as probably we are religious members alone. We should see ourselves as Nigeria. And when we begin to accept that the best for this country begins with ourselves, then we cannot do anything. When you say, like, okay, let me give an example. There was a day I was going in the bus and I noticed there was no trash can in the bus. And I had gala. I kept my gala nylon inside my bag. And the little child next to me was like, Auntie, drop it on the floor. And I was like, no.
Wow.
Why should you drop it? He said, because my mother dropped my nylon too on the floor. I was like, wow. Well, to be honest, this is very, very bad. When you cannot teach your child what is right, because you yourself do not know what is right.
Yeah.
And the same reason why I said what is right to someone is wrong to the other. So it begins with us seeing ourselves as Nigerians and accepting the fact that the best part of this world is with us.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
so a lot of what's been said is, we need to change from within, we need to change from within. But how about changing from outside? Because from a lot of the reasons why we're known as the top 3 or top 2 or whatever is because of what's being portrayed in
Yes,
the movies, the music videos,
the media.
social media. So also I also kind of, because like you said earlier, It's not only Nigeria that's corrupt.
Yes.
But then they know how to distract you with other things that's coming out from there.
Definitely.
That you don't have, like America and Hollywood.
Yes, to distract you.
The way they distract you per month with 2 movies each.
Yes.
You wouldn't even know like they're fighting war, they're having civil
Yes, even
unrest.
their media don't show you the war they fight.
Yeah.
They don't show you the shootings. There's so many shootings
Yeah.
that goes on there, but they
Definitely.
don't show it to you.
Except you
But
go to that part where you
yes.
want to see it.
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, most of us, even as Nigerians, we're even scared to go to the northern part of Nigeria because of what we see on our local TV. On the local TV, you see, I'm scared to go to this
Boko Haram,
particular
yeah.
part because they kill. But you have people there. Some people are still there. So it is not as bad as we see it on the TV. It's not as bad as you listen to it on radio.
Yeah.
So if the media can put in more work, portray the good part of us more.
Bring us out there,
Yes,
yeah.
portray, and people could see
I
it.
think I can connect with that. Recently, my friend got the newspaper, and immediately he got the newspaper. The first thing he saw was an headline, not even a normal headline that was actually denoting Nigeria to be very faulty. And then those things that are very, very good, that are still inside of a newspaper, was meant to be under other desk. That should not have been something that can actually make an
Front
headline.
page, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not saying that we should not tell the truth, but there are ways we can actually draft, like now the media particularly, there are ways we can tell the truth to everybody and then they still not be pissed or be annoyed with themselves. It's just like you coming up with something now and me particularly looking up to what is going to happen and I see the newspaper and I'm like, no, this is not supposed to be. But when I see the headline, I said, yes, even though my country has a lot of this, there's still some goods in my country, so we should portray ourselves to be good.
Yes.
So actually, let me now ask, what are the good things that we need to be portraying about ourselves more?
Yes, our agriculture system. We have nice entrepreneurs in this country. I mean, there's I was watching the TV one day. I saw a guy that produced a car that can actually move on water and can elevate a little bit.
Okay.
You don't see that on headlines that much, but you can actually do that. Put on headline. He went to Abuja to show it to,
Okay.
I think, the honorables and the senators.
Yeah, for investment, right?
Maybe.
Let's go on another break, and the show is still Digital Natives. Please keep it locked to Aleeftvng. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, and it is still Digital Natives. I'm still the host with the most, Sami Muhammad. And Nkuru and Layo has been talking to me about curbing corruption. We started the show trying to figure out what we think or what we know might be causing these corrupt practices in Nigeria. You said there was the lack of patriotism, and you said it was a state of mind. And we went ahead to discuss about how to actually provide solutions for these corrupt practices that are happening, to which you both gave me extensive answers. What I would just like to finally get out of both of you is from understanding that, okay, you know what, there is a problem now. How do we now actually make it a general discourse? Like, what steps can be taken to make sure that the whole country is talking about this issue being a problem and something that we need to change? Apart from, okay, we've spoken about the media taking responsibility as well. What other steps can also be taken to get this message out there?
Like I said before, the religious leaders, the
Okay,
teachers, and
okay,
all.
yeah.
These are the best ways to pass message to people and to reach a larger people. You can't just be, if I'm talking to my child in the house, and the parents too also have to do some things about it. If you are responsible for someone, you have to make sure that person becomes a right person. You have to teach the person the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So it has to be, that's why I keep saying that everybody's involved. I'll keep saying it. Everybody's involved one way
It's everybody's
or the
problem,
other.
yeah.
So you, the teacher, and you, the learner, we all have to be involved. We have to teach the right thing. The right thing will always be the right thing. Thou shalt not kill is the right thing. So you shouldn't kill. You shouldn't say because this person killed and I'm going to kill. It's an eye for an eye. So the right thing is thou shalt not kill. So if we all retain that, the right thing is thou shalt not steal. If we all retain that and it keeps ringing in our head that, okay, I have to do the right thing, have to be right person. I shouldn't have to embezzle money because I love my country. So it has to do with patriotism. It has to do with love. You can't hurt the things you love. So
So
if
we
you
need to
love
love the
Nigeria,
country.
you
Yeah.
would not want to
I
hurt
like that. I
Nigeria.
like that. I
Okay.
like that. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, of course. I think it's high time we return sanity back into our society. So when I say returning sanity back into our society, I have seen cases whereby you ask a child, what's the name of your father? And the next thing that the child tells you is that abusive word that the mother used for the father.
Yes.
Yes. So the
Yes.
first thing we need to do is return sanity back into the society. And the society we are talking about here is the family. Now, that point in time whereby our parents or the parents can tell their children, this is what I do. I am proud of doing it. And this same thing I want you to do. Aside that, too, I think we also need to do a revision of the way we make use of our social media networks.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. Basically, I have seen it statistically that 90% of those within the age of 18 to 35 use the social media very much. And they are always so much addicted to their social media that they don't go offline. And when you check the Twitter, the next thing you see themselves doing is tweet savage. Yes. And through street savage, people gain attention. Why? Why would somebody not just put a nugget online and then everybody's tweeting over 5,000 times? Why would somebody post a picture of their porn and then is taking retweets? And another person is trying to put a picture of helping a needy person and then it's not going on. That's not supposed to be. We need to see that first. So when we return sanity back into the environment, into our society, whereby everybody is saying yes all together, we are saying no all together. When we
Yes.
are doing peaceful demonstrations, when we are telling our students in school that this is the way it is going to work for you, even what we teach you in class is not the way it is in the labor market. We tell them straight to the point, not telling them that what is in the educational system is what is in the labor market.
Yeah.
Aside from that, too, we also need to tell them that, look, if you want it to work for you, then you have to be the best of
Yes.
yourself.
Definitely.
If you want it to be the best for you, then you have to do it to the optimal best. So then we can always see and end corruption in the society.
Okay. You guys have given me solutions, but I still feel like the major problem is enforcement.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
So, how do you enforce these solutions you're talking about? Like,
The thing is, it has to do with the person still because the lawmakers majorly are the lawbreakers because of their mindsets. So if you're saying if you steal, you're going to be arrested. If you embezzle fund, you're going to be arrested. Now, the person that is trying to arrest the person that embezzled the fund will get paid, will get bribed, and you don't hear of that person anymore. They'll just know a way of just telling you that the person is in a prison and you can't find the person in that prison. So you don't actually find that
they
person
just
in the
tell you
prison.
prison, they'll
They
tell you
just
which
tell you.
one.
They don't tell
Yeah.
you which one or anything, and you don't have a way to find out. So it's I keep seeing it. It is love, patriotism, patriotism. It has to be patriotism.
Now, if I break the law as a lawmaker, then I face it as a lawbreaker.
Yes.
Now, it's high time we stop selecting people because they've gone to the college to make this law. No. It's high time we stop telling them that because you are educated to this limelight or because you have reached this optimal place, you can be the one. Because those people there too, they can be the biggest of all lawbreakers. Now, imagine you telling somebody that is corrupt to constitute your constitution, then expect a corrupt constitution. Imagine you telling a thief to do what? To create laws for you. Then you expect a constitution that will tell you that it is only beautiful when stealers are available. Yes. Imagine when you're telling a pastor and imam to tell you this is what you are supposed to do. They will always want to channel it to what they feel is right. And that was why I said what is right is not always right, and what is wrong can also be right. So it's high time everybody sees themselves as lawmakers and they accept it when they break the law.
Thank you. Wow. Okay, it's been a very, like I said in the beginning, this was going to be a very enlightening episode, and it really has been. I hope those of you at home have enjoyed every minute because I know I have, and I hope you guys in the studio have also enjoyed
definitely.
this. Please, like I keep saying, everything that we discuss in this show isn't something I just want people to take lightly. It's serious social issues that are happening in this country, and if we as the youth want to be the next generation of leaders, then we have to be ready to make the change that we're demanding for. And so, on that note, I've been your host with the most, and until next time, This is still Digital Natives. The station is Aleeftv. Keep it locked.